Our latest survey, which we undertook in May, has revealed a range of interesting insights into the state of the global contract logistics industry. The survey probed many aspects of doing business in the sector, including client relationships, subcontractor costs, recruitment, and revenue growth. Some of the most interesting responses related to outsourcing, especially a level of regional variation in attitudes. As you can see from the chart, the survey found that Asian logistics executives are most optimistic about outsourcing prospects. 2/3 of respondents believe that more outsourcing would take place, compared to just 7% who expected clients to insource their logistics. European respondents are also quite confident about increasing levels of outsourcing. 42% of respondents believe that clients would outsource more of their logistics, while just 11% thought that their clients would bring logistics functions in-house. However, the situation is very different in North America, with just 1/5 of executives expecting higher levels. This compares with 17%, almost as many, who believe that their clients will bring functions back in-house. Examining this trend in more detail, there was also a divergence in thinking on the outsourcing of value-added logistics functions. In Asia, almost 3/4 of respondents believed that there was a trend towards outsourcing of more value-added functions. In Europe, this proportion dropped to 59%, whereas in North America, only half had witnessed this trend. The survey also revealed that logistics operators' profits had come under pressure in the past year. 88% of respondents stated that their margins had been squeezed, not least, it seems, by the increase in subcontractor costs. The chart shows a large proportion of respondents, more than 1/3, has seen these costs go up in excess of 11%. Of the three regions, Asia-Pacific providers have been most impacted. Over 40% said that costs had risen by between 10 to 20% in the past year, compared with 1/4 in North America and about 20% in Europe. When we asked specifically about the impact of fuel surcharges, 80% of respondents said they had been forced to accept them. As the chart shows, there were significant differences in the extent to which these are being absorbed. In Asia, 70% of respondents stated they had accepted them in full, whereas in North America, this figure was 60%, and in Europe, it was as low as 44%. This would suggest that by pushing back against fuel surcharges, European logistics service providers will have been more successful at protecting their gross margins. Another issue which the survey looked at was the state of relationships between logistics service providers and their clients, and especially their evolution throughout the recession and beyond. This proved to be a source of unexpectedly good news. As you can see from the chart, 1/3 of respondents commented that their relationships had actually improved, in part due to a spirit of greater cooperation and improved communication. Only about 1/10 of respondents said that relationships had taken a turn for the worse. Despite the seeming thaw in relations, there was little evidence of it in terms of longer contractual partnerships. In Asia, 68% of respondents said that they had experienced high levels of contract churn since the recession, and there was a similar response in North America, although the figure was slightly lower in Europe. Related to this, we separately asked shippers whether they had recently changed logistics provider. Almost 3/4 said they had. When asked why this was, the main reason given, with over 1/3 of responses, was poor quality of service, followed by price increases. We also asked logistics executives about the difficulty they faced when recruiting good employees. 64% of the surveyed companies have experienced difficulty in recruiting new employees in the past year. The majority of respondents believe this was due to a lack of good quality candidates. Other notable reasons included low wage levels, as well as a low profile of the industry in schools and colleges. This is a very important issue for the industry. Failure to attract the best talent to the sector will reduce logistics companies' ability to develop more sophisticated solutions-type business, preventing them from moving higher up the value chain.